Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel and to update number 7 of my Pandos eyeshadows project. So if you haven't seen any of my updates before, I will have them listed up here in the cards as well as in the description box down below. But basically in this project I have all of my palettes written on paper, like small pieces of paper, and then I have picked 3 randomly, and then I have picked 1 eyeshadow from each of those 3 palettes to try and hit pan on. And then I also have all of my single shadows written down, and then I have picked 2 randomly that I wanted to work on and hit pan on. So as I said, this is the 7th update, and this is going to be the last update before the finale, and my finale will probably go up sometime in the middle of January, I think. But yeah, let's just get into the update. So as always, I like to start with the more interesting shadows, and the first one is from the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette, and in this palette I have been working on the shade called Marble, which is this really pretty sort of green shade, like greenish golden shade. But I have actually hit pan in this one. I don't know, I think you can probably see it right there. I'm really happy I was able to hit pan in this one, and I did. It took a while, and I really enjoy it. But the thing with these shadows from this palette, they are very pretty. They have a lot of like glitter in them, so they are very like impactful, but that glitter kind of gets everywhere when you use it, so it's not like my favorite shadow formula, but I do think that these are very pretty. So yeah, I'm really happy about that, and I'm gonna show you some looks. I don't have too many looks in this update that I've done because I think I had quite like good progress on this shadow before, or like when I did my last update, so it didn't take that long after that update to sort of hit pan on it, and that's why I don't have that many looks. But here, I think I've shown you this before, but I can't remember when and like why, so I'm showing it to you again. But here I have Marble just on like the inner half of my eyelids. I have another green, but then I just have Marble sort of right at the just inner corner. And then this look is really ugly, but here I have Marble on the inner corner again. And here I sort of just played around with some products in my collection. So I have another eyeshadow that I have in this project in my crease, and then I have sort of like a Suva Hydraliner as the line, and then I have Marble all over my lid. And then I just played around with some eyeshadows that I had in my collection, and I have Marble on the inner corner. And then in this look I sort of put blue all over my lid, and then I just have Marble as like the inner thirds of my eyelid, and I think that look turned out really pretty actually. It's a nice way to use blue. So yeah, those were all of the looks I did with the shade Marble in the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette, and I'm really happy to have some progress in this. And then the other most interesting shadow in this update is the Sleek Makeup on the Horizon palette. And here I was working on this orange shade right here, and as you can see I did hit pan on it. In these Sleek eyeshadows I do dig pretty much in them to get like pigment payoff. I do have, oh I forgot to mention, I have Marble like right here on the inner, yeah, lower lash line, and then I have this shade which is called Bonfire. I have that on the center of my eyelid. But yeah, it's a nice shade. It's not like as, it's a very bright orange, but it still has some like yellow duochrome to it, so it's not like as bright orange. It's not my favorite shimmery orange basically, or like it's not my perfect shimmery orange shade. But yeah, I'm really happy to have some progress on this one as well, and it was really fun to be working on this one. And for this one I only have 2 looks, so I have one where I was just playing around and sort of, yeah, different shadows, and then I have one where I put it all over the inner parts of my lid, and then I put a red sort of in the crease, and I did a really smoked out winged liner with brown. So yeah, those were the looks that I did with this. I did those quite a few times, or like the second one I did a few times. But yeah, so those were two pans that I have hit this update. So then let's move on to some not so interesting shadows. First, let's start with Dragonfly from Makeup Geek, and this I've had in this project for a very long time, but I do have this sort of here on my lower lash line, sort of in the center. It's not, you can't really see it, but I do have this on today as well. But I do have a dip in it, but this has been in this project for probably it seems March or something, and because it's a matte and I have used this quite a bit, so there is like a dip in it, but it's a very specific eyeshadow shade, and I sort of grew pretty bored of it, or I have grown sort of bored with it, or not, yeah. Well, I worn it a lot and I just don't feel like wearing it that much, so I don't think that I will make a ton of, I'm sure I won't be able to hit pan in this one before the project ends, but I might be able to use it a few times. And then the other single shadow I have in this project is Goody to Choose by Colourpop, and you won't be able to see any like progress in this because it's not a shade that I wear on an everyday basis, but I have used it a few times, and today I am wearing it sort of on my outer and inner corner in this look I'm wearing today. I did use all of the shades in this project in my look today. And then the last shadow I have is from the Juvia's Place Masquerade palette, and I decided to work on this shade, which is called Giza, and you can see there is a tiny dip or a slight dip. Every time I use it sort of on my inner corner. I haven't been really focusing on this too much because I sort of lost my motivation a bit for this project here at the end, but I'm hoping that because I'm doing this update and I will pull 2 new eyeshadows, maybe I can just make a push and have some more like progress in the finale. But yeah, it's a really nice shadow. I love using it on my inner corner. I just haven't been using it like exclusively for my inner corner. So those were all of the eyeshadows I have in this project currently, and as I said, I will pull 2 new ones because like if I get something that I know I won't be able to hit pan on, then fine, I will maybe use it a few times. But if I get something like a sleek shadow or something like that, I do think that I will be able to hit pan on that in the few months we have left. So I'm going to grab my jar right here. So here I have all of my palettes, and I do have some C palettes in here as well because I use this for my throwing shade project as well, but I'm not going to I'm not going to include those in this project because those are already in the single shadows. But yeah, let's just pull 2 pieces of paper. Okay, so the first one is the Sleek Del Mar Volume 2, and I do think that I've had that, well, we'll see. I will pull it out. And then I have the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Armed and Gorgeous palette, so I will pull those out and then I will pick an eyeshadow and I will show you. Okay, so I'm back and I have picked my eyeshadows, so let's start with the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, and this one is in Armed and Gorgeous, and if you haven't seen that, this is what it looks like. But yeah, let's start with the other one first. This is the Sleek Makeup Del Mar Volume 2 palette, and I have actually had this in this project last year, so then I hit pan in this shadow right here. But I thought it was pretty funny because I feel like these have a tiny bit of the, like, you can see how small the sleek eyeshadows are when you compare them, but I feel like they have a sort of a similar vibe. Like you have the yellow, a gold, like the green and the green. Then you have sort of a dark brown and a dark brown, and then a highlighting shade and a highlighting shade. I just feel like they had a bit of a similar sort of vibe, except for in this one you have like a purple, a sort of turquoise and a teal. But so for this palette, sorry, really dirty mirror. But for this palette I decided to go with this peach right here because I think that would be really pretty mixed with the highlighter that I'm currently trying to pan, because it's a very like cool tone highlighter, and if I mix it with something that is a bit more warm, I think that could be really pretty, like for my face. And then from the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette, I decided to go with the matte because I only have one other matte in this product, and I decided to go with this one, which is called Agent, because I think that could be fun. I know I won't be able to pan on it because these shadows are like very big compared to the sleek shadows, but this one maybe if I try really hard. But here is what they look like swatch. So this is the Dragonfly shade, and then we have the Goody to Choose from Colourpop, and then first we have the highlighting shade from the Juvia's Place palette, and then we have the one from the Del Mar Volume 2 palette, and then we have the one from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. And I think it was really hard to sort of pick shadows because it's not really cohesive. I would not probably be able to use these all in a look, except for like a look I have today, which is very all over the place. But yeah, these are the shades that I will be working on, and hopefully I will be able to hit pan on probably the one from Sleek, maybe the one from Juvia's Place, but we'll see. So that was everything for this update. Please give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!